Welcome, welcome, welcome. This course, I got to tell you, I've changed my mind 100 times about the way I want to present this material to you because, there's probably over maybe 3, 4, 500 books on candle magic. And if you're brand new to witchcraft or magic, occultism, whatever you're choosing to pursue right now, or maybe just wanting a little information about what this is about, I don't blame you for being confused and a little flooded with so much. There's just so much information out there, and sometimes it can look like it all falls under the same type of banner. And then these days when we jump on YouTube, everyone, well, a lot of people are self-proclaimed experts, and therefore you feel like you can't do something properly, which is one of my pet peeve words when it comes to magic, the idea of expert or doing something properly, because there's no such thing. And so who am I? Some of you may know my name is Savannah, and years ago when my children were younger, I would go under the name of BWS, or my coven members would call me Black Witch S, because I have more of a, let's say, open mind and a non-judgmental mind when it comes to my application of magic theory and practice. And so people like to say, especially we're in the year 2020, that I'm on the left-hand path or following black magic. But I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this course, maybe in 10 years' time, that the world will change, and then we will not be color coding as much. We realize that magic is magic and it doesn't have a color. And everyone's perspective and reason for doing magic shouldn't be judged. So let's leave it at that, and you're welcome to your own opinion. That's just me. So who am I? I practice, I suppose. My spiritual belief system is Luciferian. That means I venerate Lucifer. That hasn't always been like that. You would say that I've been pagan for my entire life. Of course, I've followed many different magical traditions, everything from ceremonial magic style, being in the OTO, and more ceremonial magic tiles, high magic structured style traditions, to hoodoo, conjure. I have lived in many places around the world and have found some of the most amazing magical practitioners in quite remote places, places that wouldn't accept, for example, the taping or videoing of any of their rituals. In fact, they see the camera as quite a bad thing. They're spending a lot of time in spiritual practices, and they really don't believe in the sharing of their traditions outside of their own communities. But I've learned a lot from them. And so, and then circling back, of course, into more of my, I suppose, lineage or heritage, if you want, coming from, according to 23andMe, started off in more of the frosty parts of the world, Icelandic, Celtic, I suppose, of course, British and French sort of heritage. And then we're all, as you can hear by my accent, we were all shipped off to Australia 400 years ago for probably stealing bread and stuff like that. So, I suppose I've followed and had a lot of interest in especially the Wicca style of, or how modern magic came into being in this world today, which Gerald Gardner has really at the time introduced Wicca, which was seen as really quite taboo, and he introduced Wicca into the world. I think, and I'm totally in appreciation of that, because when he did that, he really took a bullet for a lot of us who were hiding still behind closed doors. Remember, back in the day, especially if you're female, if you didn't have a partner, if you had any interest in anything outside of what people thought was normal, they would judge you as a witch and burn you at the stake. You didn't have a lot of choice. And so when Wicca introduced itself in the world as a very soft, paganistic style religion, it really allowed a lot of us to come out into the light and explore our magical desires up to where we are today. So yes, I have, some people call me a high priestess. I have taken that path as well. If you're following me over here from the left-hand path, you might say, Savannah, why are you talking about Wicca in such a favorable light? I really do love Wicca. In fact, I co-wrote the course on this website to help people understand Wicca, because I feel like it can be a standalone religious practice, if you like, or you could use that as a stepping stone into other stuff. But it really provides you with such a great foundation into witchcraft or a religious system. I will say, if you're brand new into candle magic, you're probably wondering about all of the other streams, and that's why I'm saying Wicca provides a good grounding into magic. As I said, it's been around for a long time now, and there has been many fabulous authors writing wonderful books on how you can apply yourself as a Wiccan, or how do you become a Wiccan. There's also a lot of covens that have that lineage that allow you to do the 3-year program and become a Wiccan, and then perhaps run your own coven yourself. Now, I'm not digressing. I'm just really helping you understand witchcraft if you've just walked into the door, of occultism or the world of magic. Let's just say that. So what do I want you to get out of this course? Great question. What I'm hoping to share with you with this course is not only the way that I personally perform candle magic, because I love candle magic. Even though I've done high magic, candle magic really takes you down to such a practical level. Part of that sympathetic magic, when you can touch the objects, connect your own energy with that object. Maybe if it's, if you're doing magic on or for another person, create that link there and use herbs, use oils, use a candle color, use a correspondence. And it makes you feel magical. It is so hands-on and so practical. It's so beautiful. I'm really passionate about this. And so I want to convey with you some of the little tricks that I personally do to have success as a witch with this type of magic. The second thing about candle magic I love is that it can be done anytime, anywhere. It doesn't need to be elaborate. There's not a lot of preparation. For example, in ceremonial magic, you have to abstain for a lot of things over a long period of time. There's a lot of preparation when it comes to the tools. In candle magic, you don't need anything like that. Worst case scenario, or maybe best case scenario, you just grab a plain black or a plain white candle, dress it with a little herb, a little oil if you like, or maybe nothing at all, and you just push your intention into the candle. Kind of like you've been doing all your life. If you've had a birthday cake and you've had to blow out, your birthday candles after making a wish, it's candle magic. Yeah, there's lots of great folk stories on that I'll share with you if we get time during this course about the foundations of candle magic. But where I want to take you today is to try and demystify some of the confusion around candle magic. And that's because we do have such a glut of information. So I really wanted to break it down to a couple of different types of candle magic today. Firstly, I want to share with you a basic candle magic ritual or basic candle magic spell. This is something that you don't have to follow any particular tradition or path. You just think you need to do a candle magic spell, and how do you do that successfully? So I simply want to share with you that. Then secondly, I want to share with you, you might see online about how to do hoodoo or conjure work. You might see the setting of figure candles or jar candles. So I'm going to give you a lesson there where I'm going to talk about several different types of those candles, how you can dress them and set them up, maybe some of the outcomes there, and I might share with you a little bit about how to read those candles. That's getting into more advanced type of candle magic. I want to keep it simple for you guys. Not to say that I'm not going to give you a complete information, but you know what it's like. Sometimes if you get too much information, it's analysis paralysis, and then you don't do anything at all. And I'd rather you start right now and you know, you're feeling like you're not sure, but if you do it more than 3 times, I promise you, you'll probably be as good as everyone else out there, believe me. I also wanted to share with you another type of, it's called candle magic, but this is where you considering other type of elements. So for the purposes of this course, I'm going to call it witchcraft candle magic. This is because you're considering things like the, you know, the planetary considerations. You're going to have what they call a personal candle, an object candle, and probably an astral style of candle. It's done on an altar. I won't get in too deep into this because I'm sure you're not going to do it, but I want you to be well versed in the various styles of candle magic. So if you ever see it out there, you'll go, oh yeah, I got it. I know which category this fits into. So I'll share with you some that ritual. I also want to share with you what's a word for it? There's no real word for it, so I'll throw one out there. It's basically working with the saints or working with any type of spirit and a candle. And yes, it's like altar or praise or prayers, but it's taking it another step because it's not just an ancestral altar with a candle. This is actually a working candle spell, but you're directly working with a spirit. So I think if I cover that for you, you should be well covered to have successful candle magic, or at least feel confident enough that you can choose a category without feeling confused and just get started. Okay, so all right, so that's what I'm hoping to cover for you guys. If you have any questions, I like to jump on board to this course every Thursday. So if you have a question, I want you to write it in the comments section under each of the lessons. I'll come back on the Thursday, and remember, I'm in New Orleans, USA. So if you're in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere, you'll be on a Friday before you'll get an answer from me. And I'll try and talk to you about the content of the lesson. You know, I try not to spend a lot of time talking about personal situations in lessons because I want to keep it relevant to all the other students here. I'll also just say in this welcome/introduction podcast/lesson, if you have any questions or you need me to cover something else, please also write that in the comment section under this video. I'm more than happy to share with you a certain type of candle spell if you need it. So yeah, keeping it quite open here. But yeah, thank you for coming on board and for trusting me, and let's get into it.